Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Today we continue on in Wild Card Weekend with a great AFC matchup between the Houston Texans and the Denver Broncos. The battle for the Lamar Hunt Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC Wild Card game. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the inline, so it'll come out to the 25. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman running right through it. He finds some open field here. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And he takes this in the red zone all the way inside Denver's 15. So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. He'll try to run it in, going up. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Texans touchdown. Deshaun Watson keeping it himself from 5 yards out. And the Texans have taken the early lead. Forget about the storylines of being intimidated in the playoffs on the road. I mean, that was pretty clinical right there.
Yeah, they didn't treat it like it was a playoff game in January, did they?
No.
That felt much more like, hey, we're back in August, running a few drills in the practice field. They seem unaffected by what they're facing in this one.
This is fielded at the goal line. Broken tackle. And able to take it past the 20 a little bit, but no further. A flag in there as well. Let's see what this is. So after the face mask, they get to start all the way up past the 35 now. They'll set up the throw. That's caught left side by Jake Butt. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
All right, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Finds Jake Butt over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll drop to throw. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Tried to get that one to Jake Butt, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. Sutton reeling it in on the left side. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a 4.
Not just in my playing career, but you and I working together. Have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet? And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice and meetings talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now running right through it. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
Green 39. Green 39.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. Steps away to his left. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Watson hands this to Foreman. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
I like the look that they just showed there. When you come out in a passing formation, spread things out a little bit, makes it really hard to cover the middle of the field, doesn't it? Because you've got to go out to the perimeter and cover those guys.
Yep, exactly. Got some good blocking, too. Helped him pick up the 1st. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Watson on 1st down. Throw left side, complete to QT. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They only got a yard out of that last completion. And that makes this 2nd and 9. From the gun, here's Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. On the toss, here's Foreman. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Frank Clark in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. And with a 3rd and 14, we have 6 defensive backs out there now defensively. Back to throw here. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Richmond.
On first down, it's Watson. Eluding the pressure right.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down. Now Foreman. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. First down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, It's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. They'll try the air now with Watson. Dancing to his left. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Here's Foreman. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Black 22.
A carry for Foreman. Room to run past midfield. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. After the run by Foreman, here's 1st and 10. On first down, Watson. Underneath here to Hill. A good move on the carry, but still brought down just inside the 40. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Back to throw, Watson. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. And it's a fumble. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession. And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Got an open man. It's Fumagalli. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Set! 3-19! 3-19!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Here's Marquette King now as he's on to punt for Denver. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 16.
Down! Flat 22!
The drive starts with Foreman on the ground. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on second is Watson. Over the middle, that's caught by QT. And down he'll go at the 25. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
You don't want no problem. You don't want no problem with me.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He'll buy some, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down, Watson. Caught left side, Hopkins. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Escaping the pressure right. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. That's caught left side by Jake Butt. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down. Two minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. 319. 319.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
Looking to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Marquette King now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball to their territory.
And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Watson now to throw on second down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And coming out now, the Broncos. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
Detroit! Gun!
Back to throw. Flush to his right. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Gun!
They'll drop to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. So we're at halftime of this AFC Wildcard matchup. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC Wildcard game. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 9 yards on the pickup, but even after that, they're left with a 3rd and very long. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Detroit!
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Jadeveon Clowney. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up fourth down. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Returnable for Thomas. Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive. Yeah. On 1st and 10, Watson. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. To throw is Watson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Von Miller in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
3rd and long, it's Watson. Flushed out right. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him. I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's got his man on the crossing route. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This quarterback now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. Now back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
And they'll run it here. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He lost 2 there. And it's 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football. But that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. They'll set up to throw. He can run for it, and he will. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that 1st down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. Back to throw here. Complete out right to Jake Butt. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Now let's go. 3-19.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Out of the gun now on third down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
They'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And avoids the contact by sliding. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets it down to the 32. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue line.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Left side here to Sanders. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That one goes for 24 yards. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
3-19.
They get it to him running left. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
3-19.
They'll try and run. Freeman. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal. Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll try and run forward Janovich. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Bronco touchdown. Andy Janovich taking it in from a yard out. And the Broncos draw a bit closer. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. And here comes the Texans now. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
They'll start the drive with a give to Foreman. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll run with Foreman. Past the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 31 yards there and a first down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage. You got a chance to rumble.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Welcome back now to Denver. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to 4th down. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Agnew. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for them. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
And they'll go on the ground. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They run again with Foreman. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
The Texans on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 4. A shotgun snap for Watson. Forced out to his left. And he fends him off. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Tyler Davison coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. And Gonzalez puts this one through. But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. Sorry, what a turnaround there. A roughing call on the field goal try leads to 1st and goal. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there. Taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Gonzalez to add the PAT. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run.
He lost the football, but it looked like, fortunately, the Broncos able to recover.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. They'll run it now out of the gun. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space.
And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. To throw now on 1st down. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
Detroit! Detroit!
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Carlos Watkins in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
While you admire anyone trying to pick up an additional couple of yards, they're just not worth it when you take shots like that. Quarterbacks have to stay in the game and stay on the field.
The Broncos on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. They'll look to throw here. Steps away to his left. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a 1st down. Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10.
Gun! 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 Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more.
And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Royce Freeman taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Broncos have cut it to within a score. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Heading out as the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A run by Foreman to start the drive. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
Green the line! Green the line!
To throw on second is Watson. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Finding room inside the 40. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in a zone. 2nd and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, it's Hunt. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And it's off the left upright. Oh, my goodness. Heartache. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So this defense gets an assist from the goalpost, and as a result, it's going to keep them within 1 score.
Yeah, and that looked to be good the whole way. But that is a big break here in the 4th quarter of a football game. Now your offense needs to find a way to capitalize.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
Back to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Sanders. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch. This is where, of course, it's good to have a veteran quarterback under center.
You would just be able to put out one of those blood pressure clips, and nothing would be different for him. He's done it many times before, expects to get it accomplished again. If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This will be 3rd and 5.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll look to throw. Got him in. He finds Sanders. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. He's back to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Back to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
They're going to look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Agnew. And that is going to seal this victory as time runs out. Well, one win down, still 3 to go to get to the most hallowed ground in sports, but a good start.
A terrific start because they get to move on. Unfortunately for the team that lost, it's a long offseason ahead for them now.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, everyone, as we say so long from Denver.